For more on the Egyptian elections, I spoke to Nii Akuetteh. He is a policy analyst with the African Immigrant Caucus. We started talking about what the outcome is that he expects from the election and whether it will change anything at all.
I think it will benefit the president, but from my point of view, that's not a good thing because, this is a heavy-handed president. I still see him as a coup maker who took over. He was supposed to have been elected. Those elections themselves were questionable, but the parliamentary elections that are supposed to be today and then the second part a month from today, I have serious problems with them. The party structures have been weakened, so it's more individuals. The Muslim Brotherhood, which in the previous election that everybody says was the best that Egypt has held, they were the most prominent party. Now they've been declared a terrorist organization, they've been banned, they can't run. So bottom line is, in my view, these legislative elections are just designed to give the president a rubber stamp parliament. I don't have a lot of hope, and I think it's depressing because I think this is a backward step from democracy.
Weren't they expected to have more power than ever, though, under the new constitution?
Well, they were, but even the Constitution, was written under the thumb of the president. So everything is designed to make the president's job easier, to give him a lot of power. To my mind, this parliament where it will mostly agree with the president, it will be a rubber stamp. It's not going to challenge the president. It's nothing like what we see here in Washington, a fight between the executive and the legislature.
So you don't see any checks and balances whatsoever, Nii?
No, I don't. No, I don't. Not enough. Not what I think Egypt needs to be a strong... I have a long record of insisting that in Africa, for African countries to make progress, even anywhere, but especially Africa, we need to have good democratic governance so that no one person dominates the scene. From that point of view, I think Egypt has taken a step backwards.
Well, what's next for the Egyptians then? What do they have to look forward to?
I think they have to, the hope is that while the president has curtailed, President el-Sisi has curtailed the democratic space, the hope is that he'll be able to achieve security in terms of terrorism. The whole Middle East, because of Syria, is boiling. And also economically, he's trying to revamp the Suez Canal and do some other projects. So the hope is, I think the bargain the Egyptian people has made is, okay, maybe we'll get some peace and stability and we'll get economic growth in a bargain. But even that, I am skeptical because I think every country that has done that, it unravels. If you sacrifice democracy for progress on stability and economics, it doesn't work too well in my view.
How will Egypt play into the fight against ISIS and what's going on in the rest of the Middle East?
Oh, I think, in fact, that is a key question because if I look at U.S. relations with African countries, and when I look at U.S. relations with Egypt, I think that the U.S. has been soft on the President Sisi because they want him to play a big role in securing the Middle East. And now a lot of talk, Henry Kissinger, who is a sage on U.S. foreign policy, just did a paper about how to fight ISIS. And he sees a big role for countries like Egypt. So I think that is a key question. The U.S. expects Egypt to help in containing the current volatile situation in the Middle East, and therefore it is sort of saying, okay, we are not going to press them too hard on human rights and democracy.
I see. What kind of turnout will we be having? And is there any way to turn back on any of this at this point?
I doubt it. In fact, in terms of turnout, everyone says that the turnout will be very low because people are demoralized. Egypt has gone through a revolution. At first, many of us were very hopeful when Mr. Mubarak was forced to leave and when there were demonstrations in the streets.
I was going to say, we've seen them take to the streets before. Is there any turning back at this point? You don't expect any uprisings or anything?
Because everything you read tells you that the people who led those people's revolution in Tahrir Square and in the streets around Egypt, they are very demoralized. Many of them have been chased away. Moreover, to repeat, the party that won the elections from those good revolutions, the Muslim Brotherhood, it has been banned. And it's been declared a terrorist organization. Its members are, on the run. President Morsi has been condemned and he's in jail. So those who you would expect to help push Egypt forward are on the back foot.